Welcome back. This is going to be part 8 of this series of getting this bike that's been sitting for over 10 years back on the road. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. It takes a lot of time and energy to make this content for you guys at absolutely free of cost to you. So all we ask is that you scratch our back. I'm giving you a lot of knowledge that a shop would charge you a lot of money for. $160 to $120 an hour normally for shop repairs, and I'm giving you all this information for free. If you want to take it a step further, feel free to donate to the channel or join my membership program. Everything you need to know is in the description of the video. But just remember, guys, I have made 3,000 videos showing you guys how to repair and fix motorcycles. And I've kept a lot of people from going to shops, and I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of gratitude for that. My view count does not match my subscriber count. I have millions of views and I only have thousands of subscribers. We need to work on that, y'all. So do me a favor, do what's right, you know what's right, do me a solid, and I'll see you guys after my intro. Welcome back. So now that we've got everything running good and most of the fluids have been changed minus the oil, we're going to go ahead and change this brake, because unfortunately this master cylinder is shot. Now when I got this bike here, I actually took all this apart and left this here so I could just reattach everything. So the fluid's been open to the elements for a few days, but it shouldn't really affect anything. We should be okay. If I have to, I will bleed the lower line, but normally you can just bleed it from the top and solve a lot of problems right from up here. All we need to do is replace this master cylinder with a new one, so that's what we're gonna do. These screws are good still, but this master cylinder is completely shot. So I ordered a brand new one online. For those of you wondering, this was $14.53. I have ordered a lot of Chinese brake master cylinders and never had a problem with them. So it definitely beats out Kawasaki's $135 brand new component. I will post a link for that if you want it. But as long as you maintain your fluid, I've never had an issue with the Chinese ones. So now that we've got those 8mm bolts out, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the safety switch, which is also the brake light switch. So that's what tells this and the machine that it's good to start. So this is pretty much junk. I may take this piece off. I may save the handle. There's a whole nother handle in there. I may save that stuff. We're definitely going to save these bolts. I always use these for everything. They always end up coming in use later on down the road for some projects, so I put them in the motorcycle bin. So let's go ahead and crack these guys loose. We're just going to install this one real quick before we add fluid, and then I'm going to show you how to bleed it the simplest way you possibly can. So far I've only been using 8mm. Again, this was a 12 to take off. So, and you're going to need DOT4. I believe this is DOT4. This should have been DOT4 by the time this bike was out. Yeah, .4. So you're going to need DOT4 fluid to change this. Take this guy out real fast. First thing I'm going to do is I always connect these, because it's much easier to connect these first, then install this. So let's go ahead and pop these on while we have it, and it's easy to access and we can see what we're doing. There's number 1, and there is number 2. Very, very simple. Pull that out of the way. Now we're just going to come on this side. We're going to put this guy on here like that. Going to hold it with these 2 fingers. We're going to get one bolt started. Gently. Then we're going to start the bottom one. Till we get these going good. Excellent. Now they're both going in. And a little piece of advice, do not crush these down. It's very easy to snap this piece. So there's no need to crush them. Just go until everything's nice and tight and it's not moving around. But No need to crush them. So while we've got that loose, I'm going to turn this handlebar this way. We're going to go ahead and grab a 12. As you can see, I've got 2 ratchets, one ready to go here. We're going to go ahead and undo this guy, install the brake line. So it's obviously the next logical step. Remember guys, if you're working with fresh fluid in here and you're taking the old one off and there's still fluid in there, it's just the plunger doesn't work, grab a syringe like you can see back there, suck all the fluid out. That'll really simplify your life with changing this, and just disperse the old fluid and replace it with new. So as you can see, I've left 1 rubber O-ring on there. We're going to slide that through, then we're going to put that rubber O-ring on there, and then we're going to tighten this while it is loose. And we're just going to go until this is nice and tight by hand, and then we're going to wait to finish that off. So let's get this set up so that these match the identical height of each other. So we're going to make sure that this is about right there. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and tighten these down by hand if we can. Maybe I'll just spin them like this real quick, get them in a good ways. That way we can start to position this. We just need to get it a little tighter so that I can move it around. There we go. Alright, so let me see how high up on the handlebar that one is versus this one. And boy, I almost nailed that on the first shot. I did nail it on the first shot. Beautiful. I don't even have to tamper with it. So now we can tighten that one down. Then we can tighten this guy down. Again, like I said, guys, you don't have to crush these things. Just get them so that they're tight and this can't move. Because if you tighten them too much, you risk snapping this in the center, and that's not what we want to do. So that should be good. Alright, now we can crank that guy down. Pretty easy to install a master cylinder. It's just the bleeding part that confuses everybody, so we'll get into that here. Again, you don't have to crush this, just get it nice and tight. That's that. Now we're going to loosen those. A little secret for you, which I've been teaching since the beginning of time on my channel, is give them a tap first. That way you can crack them loose, because they've been sitting and they're factory tight. So just give a good whack, and then come to this side and the same thing. Whack. And they should undo. There we go. Easily. You don't want to strip these out. These are the easiest things to strip. Anytime you ever go to take these off or put them on, always give them a smack with a hammer first. Because like I said, you strip them out, that's a pain in the ass. You got to get a whole new master cylinder to get them out. And replace it again. Easier just to give them a little smacky smack smackaroo. Alright, so I'm going to set these screws up here so I don't lose them right there. And then we're going to take this, there's going to be a rubber piece underneath it, right there. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab some DOT4. We're going to fill this up all the way to the top. There we go. And then what we're going to do, because there's no fluid in a lot of this line now, is we're going to slowly squeeze this and watch the air bubbles come up. So we're just going to keep squeezing all the way. Let it go. Take it slow. It's going to be a lot of air in the line. But what happens is if you go too fast, this will eject the fluid out once it starts getting pressure. So just take it slow. We just want a little fountain of fluid. That's how we know that we're getting pressure. But there's probably a lot of air in these lines. So here's the thing about bleeding, is that bubbles only travel one way, guys. They're only going to go up. So if you want to get the air out of the lines, you can sit here and just prime this valve a bunch of times until there's no more bubbles coming up like that. And all you see is a little bit of fountain of fluid coming up the middle. So like I said, I'm just taking it slow, because the last thing I want is just to blast all that, you know, all over the paint right here, because that'll destroy paint. But as you can see, there's definitely a lot of air in those lines. Feels like I might be starting to get some pressure build here on the end of it. It's getting tighter. I'm at the halfway point now. It's getting tighter. Oh boy, we're getting pressure. There we go. You see that big fizzy stuff? Okay, now you see what happens when I squeeze it? Instead of bubbles, we get a little fountain of fluid. That's how you know there's no more air in the line. See? Now I'm still gonna give it little tiny clicks because I'm still seeing some little tiny air pockets come up. And we want to try to get all the escaped air out, but that's how you know that you've got solid fluid. Because when you give it a squeeze, you see a fountain. I'm gonna get closer so you can see the fountain. See the fountain? So, we bled that brake, and when I release it, as you can see, we've got pressure. It's stopping at the halfway point now. I can't squeeze that any harder. That's it. We've got brake pressure. So now we have a repaired front brake, but what we need to do is make sure that it's not seized. So I'm getting some movement here. So I'm gonna let it move. I'm gonna keep tightening it down until I'm positive we got all the air out. Another little secret for you is go ahead and move this back and forth. Don't let that tip out of there, but move this back and forth a little bit. That way if there's any air pockets stuck in the line, they will come up. We'll give them some help again. We have a nice solid batch of fluid coming up now. Okay. I'm not seeing any more air pockets, and I've got a very good solid pressure going on here. So we're gonna go ahead and put the cap on so that we don't spill anything all over the place. And then we're gonna grab the front brake and make sure that I can still move the tire and it's not seized up because this bike's been sitting. So we gotta make sure we can spin the tire. That lets me know that the brake pressure is also releasing and there's not something wrong with the caliper, because this is the first time this front brake has had any kind of pressure in a very long time. So it's, again, this bike's been sitting for over 10 years. The fluid was still good that came out of it though, so I wasn't concerned about that. We're gonna make sure this is tight. I don't want any leaking. There we go. Yep, still got solid pressure. Let's see if we can spin this tire and make sure that this is not locked up. Nope, good to go. If I squeeze it, I cannot turn the tire. There we go. Front brake repaired. Brand new master cylinder. Now we need to turn the key on. Oops, I gotta give it power. We need to make sure that the emergency or the brake light is working now. That would be our next test. So we're just gonna give it a little bit of power here real quick. Gonna turn the key on, gonna reach back here. There we go. Switch is working exactly how it should. $15 Chinese brake master cylinder, works absolutely flawless on this machine. We're good to go. That was part 8. Part 9, guys, I'm gonna be showing you how to build a new bumper. We're waiting on a battery for this to come in, and then we're gonna throw the tank back on and give this thing a very thorough cleaning and make sure that the tank is distributing fuel. So that was part 8, brake repair. I told you we were gonna break each individual part down. This is done now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. This is gonna be on an entire playlist of start to finish, making this bike fully function, fixing every single component with you guys, so you can see the final product when we're done. Then we're gonna clean all this up and get all this crap off here from the duct tape they had and all sorts of stuff. Duct tape, I don't know what they were doing. Craziness. But pretty cool family. They were very nice people that I bought this from. So this was a female-owned bike, and she was very friendly. Susan is a very nice lady. Anyways, guys, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Show me some love. I simplify your life. I show you exactly how to do everything and make it easy. You're welcome. Follow along. This was part 8. We got part 9 coming up where we're gonna make a new bumper. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. It takes 20 minutes to make a new bumper for this side. Let's do it.